I have.
Yes,
I told you I was going to
she
bring
worked
a cat.
out. And did you have soda today?
I did.
32 ounce
vanilla Coke, please. I texted you.
With the cherry on top.
We have too much fun together. Okay.
It's true.
We just want to talk. We just want to gab all night. I have too much energy. I think you're
And I'm like,
welcome back to our channel.
hola.
It's not me. It's you. It's you is being weird.
Okay.
Today we're going to talk about why we decided to stay home. Right?
Stay at home mamas.
There you go.
I think the biggest thing that I chose to stay home is just because, like, no one knows your kid like you
That's
do.
true.
Like the mom does. You know, I always wanted to be a mom. And I
I
always,
know
like,
I
in the
did.
back of my head, knew that I'd be a stay-at-home mom, too. And also, like, a big reason was, like, I can go to work, and where I worked before, I didn't make, like, tons of money, and it was equivalent to working and paying the sitter or a daycare. Like, I would be working,
out, zeros out.
there would be no profit there.
It sounds cliche, but like from being a little girl,
Oh.
I wanted to be a mom always. And that was just
Yeah.
always what I wanted to do. Like there were some things I thought about being an event planner because I was very interested in that. And I did go to school and I got my associate's degree and I could just never decide. And I was like,
Yeah.
I just know I want to be a mom.
I mean, I'm all for working moms. This is not like
This is
to
not a working
shame
mom
or
shame video.
yeah. You have to do what you got to do, but we are very lucky enough to be able to stay home. After Bronx, I had to go back to work. Like I was like, I didn't go back to work until he was like 7 months old, but I like for the sanity, I needed it. I was like, well, I wasn't ever diagnosed, but I had like super bad anxiety after. I needed to just be with adults. Like this is terrible to say, but I was bored.
Said this to my friend because she had a baby and I was like,
You're gonna get bored.
Like,
Yeah.
and everyone for some reason thinks you're gonna be so busy.
Not
You
with
would
your-
sleep.
Yeah.
So much. Like
Yeah.
I was not prepared for how boring it was. Like I got the baby blues.
Oh,
with
so
Dan
bad.
mostly. I really didn't with Conrad.
I did for a little bit because I had to take him back to the hospital, but it was
I had to
super
do that
bad
with
with
Dan,
number
too.
one. I think because you know what to expect with the second.
I cried a ton, and it wasn't until I left the house for the first time. He was like a week old. I mean, he was in the car seat, but I like went to lunch with my sister-in-law, and he slept the whole time. Like I had timed it perfectly, and I was like, oh my gosh, I needed that so much. In the beginning, it's normal to feel sad. Like everything's changed. Your marriage has changed.
Well, and your hormones from pregnancy are up here, and then the
crazy.
second you have them, it goes like just
Exactly.
they're out.
Suddenly you have to keep a tiny human that can't talk or do anything alive.
That was the biggest.
It's so scary.
That was my anxiety. Like I was terrified for Nick to go back to work, and then when he had to go back to work, like so much anxiety. Well, and with Bronx, he had really bad acid reflux to where he would like choke on his acid and stop breathing. And so he did it a few times in the hospital, but I was like terrified, like what if I'm at home and he does this? I don't know what to do. And my amazing father-in-law like stayed an extra, like we lived with him at the time. He stayed with me like an extra 2 weeks to like make sure I didn't know until later that he like dropped everything to stay with me because he was worried about me. I had no idea. Like my husband was so awesome. He like read everything about postpartum depression and anxiety, and he would talk to me like every night, like how are you feeling?
I feel
are
like
you
that
feeling
was
this?
key
Like
is-
he kept track of my feelings for me. Like with Bronx, I had a C-section with him. I had to have a C-section. He was breech, and then I was leaking amniotic fluid. So like that kid, if I didn't know, like he would have been a stillborn.
So crazy.
And he was 3 weeks early. So I think all of that on top of like feeling like I got gypped out of birth pretty much. Like I didn't know what a contraction felt like. I didn't go into labor. My water never broke. Like I had to get cut open. Like it took me a long time
to come to terms with it.
Yeah, to be like, I gave birth to him. Because to me, I didn't for a long time. I was like, I didn't give birth to him. He got cut out of me. And it's like, no.
I would start crying.
Yeah.
And I would just be like, I don't know why I'm sad.
Yeah, all
Like
the time.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm just sad. I just feel like this sadness. I don't know what it is.
And it's okay to be sad, but there's a difference of being sad and then
depression.
not wanting to be with your baby. If you feel that way,
there's no shame.
No, go talk to somebody.
Yes. Go talk to someone. get on something if you need to, because you have to. I feel like where I was like baby, but you have to take care of yourself to take care of your baby.
It's
and
so
we
true.
get so overlooked all the time.
Don't be afraid to ask for help, because being
and
a
both
mom,
our husbands worked, and I feel like a lot of people are like, I don't want to wake up my husband.
He works.
And I'm
well,
like,
guess what?
Yeah,
you are home with your kids all day.
Exactly, and it is work. Let me tell you.
You deserve sleep too.
Never have a break. But with Conrad, he was born
had to stay
4 weeks early, and being discharged from the hospital without him, I cried. I've never cried so hard, and I never stopped until I'm not kidding. I never stopped until I got back to the hospital. So I cried. Jared picked me up food. We went home, cried the whole time, and then I went back to the hospital. And then I cry at the hospital because I'm not with Dan.
Yeah.
And then I'm home with Dan, and I cry because I'm missing Conrad. Yeah. And the nurses are always like, you are allowed every emotion you feel. Like, it is hard being in here. Yeah. Like, no matter if you're here for a day or 3 months, it is so hard, and you deserve to feel this way. Like, they don't prepare you for those things, I feel like. It's like, this could happen, skips over it. Like, they don't talk about the hard stuff
they don't.
that can happen.
You would feel like you're depressed because of baby blues, but baby blues only lasts like 2 weeks. It lasts
a few weeks.
When it goes to 4 to 6 to 8, that's when you have have to worry. And
just always talk about your feelings.
This kind of went in a different direction than we were planning on, but I feel like if you have any symptoms or are worried or anything, call your doctor, talk to your doctor, even your kid's doctor.
Yeah, don't be afraid. It is nothing to be embarrassed about.
No.
More people than you think have been through the exact same thing you have. And even reach out, find a mommy group, find a mom friend, because they're going to understand. Subscribe to our channel.
Yes, like our page, like our Instagram.
Follow us on Instagram, and comment if you have any video requests.
Thank you.
There you go. See you next week.
See you. See you on another time.
See ya. I'm going to pet your dog.
Physical therapy this morning, so I did put foundation on before.
For what? Your nose? No. Your mole was removed. It doesn't know how to function now. It's just constant.
We're reds. We have a red personality. True.